Shalom. Today I'll be talking on men are fathers, not fighters. Fighting is a sign of weakness on a partner who fails to speak at. Are you making your wife a punching bag? Men who beat their wives up are not men, but boys. Your wife is not one of the kids at home that you can just spank whenever you feel like, or when she does something wrong. She's not one of your pets at home. When a woman does something wrong, matured men enter the discussion with her and not to beat her up. Some couples, a day hardly passes without an exchange of harsh words and blows. For the neighbors, they have learned to live with the frequent squabbles that emanate from the homes of the young couples. But should this be the case? If your man hits you, there is no excuse for that. Many women put up with this abuse for a long time, and others believe that it is the woman's fault. If your partner believes that he is free to act like a cruel dictator and can eat you as he feels anytime, then you need to do something about that relationship. Bruises from such housing relationship will get healed, but the psychological trauma can last a lifetime. Some have argued that it is African for a man to beat his wife. Hey, where did you learn such a tradition from? Beating your wife is like beating yourself, because the Bible classified the husband and the wife as one. In Matthew chapter 19, verse 5, that for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So you can see that the man and the woman, they are tied together. They are one in spirit, soul, and body. And also in Ephesians chapter 5, if you read from verse 28 to 29, he said, so husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his own wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ also does the church. So as a husband, your wife is part and parcel of you. She's part of your making. She's part of everything that has to do with you. So just as you love yourself, just as you love your body, just as you cherish your body and take care of it, same way the Bible admonishes us to do to our wives. So beating your wife up is like beating your own body. Torturing your spouse, torturing your wife, it's like torturing yourself. Because when you are joined with a partner, you are one with that partner, both in spirit, soul, and body. If you have this knowledge in you, you won't beat your wife up, knowing that she's one with you. Leave that African mentality of beating a woman behind. I am yet to know of anywhere in Africa where custom permits a man to beat his wife. Indeed, it is a sign of other pathological problems. It is cowardly for an insane man to beat his wife. No matter the prevailing circumstances, there can be no justification for such an action. I always advise young men that if at any time you feel highly offended by your wife's seeming nagging, just excuse yourself and take a walk. By the time you come back, the tension would be lifted up. The economic situation strain should not make you to turn your wife into a punching bag. This is also not acceptable. Your wife is your partner, not your sparring partner in a boxing ring. There are some homes where both father and mother fight. The children are like the referee, and neighbors around are like the spectators watching the happenings around. Always see her as a helpmate and not a distraction or a liability. It is a time our society begins to make more seriously the need for couples to live in harmony. This is because it is only when we build good families that we can build a good society. Parents makes a family. Family makes a society. And a society makes a nation. As a man, when you beat up your wife and your kid sees you, they will one day grow up with such an action in them. Learn your ways and beat your wives up in future. Teach your children to love their wives by actions they see in you. Beating can be done in different ways. It doesn't have to do with exchange of blows all the time, but beatings can be done in different ways and through different actions. Someone can beat a person emotionally, tongue lashing a person, abuses, reactions, ignoring or demonstrating an act of wickedness. All these are some of the ways in which you can beat and torture a person emotionally, and so on. Any action you take that harms another person is beating that person up, even if it is not done physically through combating. Going after other women and abandoning your partner, abandoning your wife is another way of beating her and torturing her emotionally. Women, don't push your husbands in an action of beating you up. Stay low and humble. And men, grow up to be father to your wives and not a fighter. The best way to handle a situation in every relationship is to set an atmosphere for discussion. When there is no discussion, it leads to action. And that action later on is being demonstrated in an act of combat. When there is a dispute between couples, the best way of handling it is to speak up. Let your partner know what you want and what you don't want. Let your partner know what you're going through. Let your partner know how you feel. If they offend you, let them know. There are times people offend you without knowing. Not until you tell them, they'll never know their wrongs. They will never know their offense. But when you tell them, it helps them to know and to amend, to change from such an heart. So beating up your partner is not a sign of strength. It's not a sign of you being the box. It's not a sign of showing how stronger you are, but it is a sign of weakness. It shows that you are weak since you could not express yourself in works, since you could not express yourself in discussion. You end up giving yourself to weakness by combating with your wife. So I encourage you, men hearts there, have this mind in you that your wife is your partner. She's same flesh, same body with you. Beating her up is beating your own self. So learn to create a peaceful atmosphere within your home. Make a good family. Create a joyful atmosphere between you, your spouse, and the children around. And I tell you, as you do this, unity will come to stay, and the band of love will rule your home to the end of age. May your home be peaceful. May you enjoy the beauty of marriage. May you enjoy the peace of marriage. May your home be filled with harmony, unity, and progress. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray that God will give you the wisdom. And I pray that God will help you to build your love for one another. I pray that God should open up your understanding to understand your spouse, the emotional state of your spouse, to understand your spouse in every aspect. I pray that God will give you that wisdom. to be able to read into their hearts and to know when they are emotionally down and to see how you can be a source of encouragement and strength to them in the mighty name of Jesus. And I pray that the love of God will rule over your home. The peace of God overflow in your home. The fear of God guides your hearts and build you into a marriage that others will come in and will learn from. In the name of Jesus. So till we meet again, remain blessed. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen.